ladies and gentlemen, whoever is here, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We are doing an amazing Women Building Wealth seminar in honor of Women's History Month. I am April Archeletta, and I am thrilled to be your first speaker today. So as we gather here, we're not just celebrating our past achievements, but also paving the way for a more financially empowered future. Today, we're going to be covering several crucial topics that will help us understand how to improve our financial landscape, but also how you can take control of your financial future. So tonight's exciting discussion outlines here. Let's learn a little bit about who we are, right? What we do. We're going to talk about financial statistics, right? Mind-blowing numbers that'll make your wallet quiver. Options for your money, where to stash your cash for maximum growth. Retirement strategies, right? How to retire like a boss without having to become one. And career opportunities. It's all about climbing that money tree. And obviously, grand finale, we're going to be doing a raffle today. It's just our way of saying thank you for spending some time with us tonight. Well, let's go ahead and get to know each other a little bit more. So, as I said, my name is April Archeletta. My journey in finance began in Salt Lake City, Utah. It's where I grew up, and from a very young age, I was drawn to the world of finance, right? Initially finding my footing in the mortgage industry. Little did I know that this early experience would shape my entire career. So as I navigated the complexities of mortgages, where I witnessed firsthand the devastating impact that the 2008 housing market crash had on everybody, it left an indelible mark on me. I saw countless families struggle with foreclosure and financial ruin, myself included, right? This experience ignited a passion to help, for me to help others, right? And to help them avoid similar hardships. But I was determined to make a difference. I shifted my focus to wealth management. I realized that so many people out there lack the necessary tools and knowledge to effectively manage their finances and plan for their future. I have drawn from my own experiences, and I have dedicated myself to help guide clients towards financial stability and success by taking a more holistic and personalized approach. So enough about me. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about our organization. We are a dedicated team on empowering women, dedicated to empowering women to bridge that wealth gap, right? To provide access to financial literacy as well as activations. Our vision is to inspire women and their families by turning their dreams into reality, by harnessing their economic power. But most importantly, we are a team with a mission. Our mission is to leave no family left behind, providing financial empowerment through education. So now we're going to go ahead and dive in to a lot of the exciting options that our company has to help women build and protect their wealth. So as you can see to the right, we partner with multiple top A-rated companies to offer comprehensive suite of financial products. So these can broadly be categorized into three main areas. First one is going to be retirement planning. So retirement planning is extremely crucial, especially for that financial security in your golden years. So whether it be educating our generation on the different ways to save and put away money, or maybe geared a little bit more towards our baby boomer generation, right? And showing them how to guarantee and protect their retirement accounts. Our team of experts can help you choose the best options based off of your unique situation, risk tolerance, and your retirement goals, right? Second is going to be your wealth preservation and protection strategies, such as life insurance, long-term care. We also can assist in estate planning, wills and trusts, and things of that nature. Third is going to be your child Head Start planning. So whether that be for education purposes, maybe in the form of a more traditional plan, we are here to educate women and their families about this tool for securing their child's future. So remember, ladies, this is not a one-size-fits-all. Our team is dedicated to creating personalized financial plans that are going to align with your unique goals, your risk tolerance, and your life circumstances, right? We're here to empower you with the knowledge and the tools to make informed decisions about your financial future. So now that you know a little bit about us and what we do, let's get to the good stuff. So as you can see, this first slide, women earn less over their lifetime than men. So the gender gap in pay continues to be a significant issue, with women earning approximately 83 cents for every dollar that a man earns. While the difference seems minimal, right? As it accumulates over a woman's career, it actually results in a substantial lifetime loss in earnings. Over a 30-year career, that gender pay gap, even though it's 83 cents, averages out to be approximately $400,000 in lost earnings per woman, right? That is not a small amount. But this is why it is so important for us as women to embrace wealth management, learning about finances as early as possible. So now, not only in addition do we see a loss of earnings, but we also see that women also face a significant retirement savings gap in comparison to men, right? Recent statistics show that women have approximately 30% less in retirement on average, right? Now, this could be for a number of reasons, right? We're caretakers. We take care of children, we're taking care of elderly parents, but this disparity is particularly concerning, given that women actually need more funds because we live longer, right? We are generally projected to live at least 6 years longer than men. So this longevity is great, right? It's a positive aspect. It also means that women need to stretch that retirement savings over a longer period of time. So the combination of lower savings and a longer retirement phase creates a challenging financial scenario, right, for us. So there is a silver lining. I promise, ladies, I am not just here to be the bearer of bad news. I promise. The fact that women live longer provides them with more time to enjoy retirement, right? To pursue personal interests and actually spend more time with their family and their friends. So this extended lifespan also gives us more time to potentially grow our money, right? Through smart financial planning and investment strategies. So the key takeaway, ladies, is that while women face unique challenges, right, we always have throughout our whole life, it is because of our longer life expectancy that it also presents great opportunities. So with proper financial education, planning, proactive saving strategies, we as women can work towards bridging this gap and ensuring a comfortable and fulfilling retirement, right? That will match our longer lifespan. So that is my time today so far. Ladies, I would like to go ahead and bring on the next keynote speaker, one of the women in this business that I have a privilege to work with, keeps me on my toes and who I aspire to be like when I grow up. I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Miss Monique Greaves.
Sorry, having some technical difficulties. Hi, I'm Monique Greaves. I grew up in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, the daughter of hardworking immigrants with a West Indian background, watching them build a life with value and of financial responsibility and preservation, the importance of just securing a strong future. So for over 15 years, I worked in marketing and business operations, helping companies grow and connect with their audiences. But something was missing. I wanted to make a real impact on people's lives. That's why I shifted my focus to financial services with a bachelor's degree in business management, entrepreneurship, and licenses in life, accident, and health insurance across multiple states. I now specialize in retirement planning, life insurance, long term care. I believe that financial literacy is the key to freedom, security, and empowerment. My mission is simple: to educate and equip individuals with the tools they need to take control of their financial future. I have some more stats, and I too promise that it will get better as well. But did you know that 80% of women will at some point in their lives be the sole financial decision maker, whether due to divorce, widowhood, or just staying single? This reality highlights why financial literacy is not just important, it's essential. Our goal today is to help you feel confident and prepared to take control of your financial future. no matter where you are in your journey. This statistic tells us that almost half of women are leaving their families financially exposed. Life insurance is not just about peace of mind, it's about empowerment and ensuring financial stability for those we care about. I've seen this a lot. Women often take on a role of caregivers, but this commitment can come at a significant financial cost. Taking care, taking career breaks not only impacts lifetime earnings, but also reduces social security benefits and retirement savings. It's essential to address this gap with proactive financial planning. Many women just naturally put their families' needs first, but 65% admit doing so at the expense of their own financial security. While it's commendable to take care of your loved ones, we must also encourage women to secure their own futures. Here's the bright side. Here's some good news. Women are actually better investors than men. Studies show that women's investment portfolios outperform men's by 0.4% annually. This is largely because women tend to take a more disciplined, long term approach to investing. Let's leverage this strength to build even greater financial security. Women owned businesses are thriving, accounting for 42% of all US businesses and generating an impressive 1.9 trillion in revenue. Even more remarkable, they are growing at twice the rate of male-owned businesses. This demonstrates the power of potential and the potential of women entrepreneurs in today's economy. By 2030, women in the US are projected to control 30 trillion in financial assets. Let me say that again. Women in the US by 2030 are projected to control 30 trillion in financial assets. This massive shift will reshape the economy and financial markets, making it more important than ever for women to be equipped with the right financial strategies and planning. As we've seen, women are increasingly becoming powerful forces in the financial world, both as business owners and investors. This growing influence presents new opportunities and challenges when it comes to financial planning and wealth management. To dive deeper into strategies that can help women leverage this financial power, I'm excited to hand it over to Angie Fragomeno, who will share valuable insights.
All righty. Thank you so much, ladies. And I am the final speaker today. I'm very honored to be here with you guys. I commend every single one of you for being here, for taking action to actually want to learn and want to be involved in your own finances and to see what else is out there. Maybe you already have plans in place, but the most important part about having the knowledge is taking the steps towards that financial security, that financial future that we want, that financial freedom that we all want to attain. And so I think Monique mentioned it, April mentioned it as well. It's attainable for all of us, but again, taking the steps. And so I'll tell you a little bit about myself and my background. I've been now in the industry for almost 12 years, and I grew up just like Monique, in a family of immigrants where I saw the hard work, and there's a lot of women in my family. And so I saw that growing up, and that was the only thing that I also knew how to do. But also in my previous experience as a business analyst in healthcare, I realized a few things. At the time when I got introduced to our company, when I got introduced to all the statistics as well that we just covered, that were not only bothering me on some of the disadvantages, but also it gives me so much hope of what's coming in the next years. And so I realized that I had no idea how to invest my money. I had no idea how to invest my 401k or where it was invested. I was using benefits at work, but also again, I had no idea how to maximize those benefits. I also realized that the women in my family, hardworking women, nobody was knocking on our door saying, let us help you. And so I took it upon myself, not only learning this information, but I knew that I had the duty to help my own family, but at the same time with the knowledge and implementing the strategies for people, I knew that I could be that person for other people's family. And that's what I've been doing in the last 12 years in my career. The financial literacy and some of the strategies that I will share with you have been some of the caterpillars and the foundation to a lot of families that we've been able to help, not only women, but families overall that we've been able to help that have implemented that foundation to a better future. And so with that said, I want to actually not only continue to piggyback of some of those statistics, because I personally like the last three statistics more than all the others, the ones that are disturbing and the ones that are bothering me and saying, why are we making less money? But also I understand that, look, women are powerful. Women are the backbones of our households, taking care of our families, taking care of our spouses, and we are resilient. We are today, we're the most educated we've ever been. And so I know that we could do so many amazing things. And it shows not only with some of the last statistics, but the trillions of dollars that are going to be in the hands of women. And so let's actually talk about personal responsibility, because it's extremely important to take that responsibility in our own hands. And so Monique touched on it. Again, April touched on it. And so what were some of those income streams in retirement? It was three of them. And I said it was because this the three-legged stool that we used to actually have those income streams for people is broken. And so the first one is going to be Social Security, that not only because in our lifetime we make less money, we contribute less money towards Social Security, but Social Security studies show that it might be depleted in the next 12 to 15 years. So if we're not in that range of retirement, and even people that are in that range in retirement, I don't know if that's going to be the ideal to have that as your only source of income. Now, the second leg in that stool is pensions, and pensions are not necessarily something that most people have access to. In fact, almost 90% of Americans don't have access to a pension. And so what happens to the third leg? Well, it comes down to that personal savings, that personal responsibility. And so it is important to make sure that not only we understand that is that personal responsibility, but how are you taking care of your future self? And sometimes that picture of our future self seems so far, seems like we don't know that person in the future, but we will meet that person one day. And I hope that the person that you are today is putting in the work and is actually taking the steps to help that future you. So let's talk about options for our money. When it comes to options for our money, we could break it down in so many different accounts, so many different type of solutions. And I want to break it down for you in 3 different areas. We could also go into so much more detail on taxes and how these accounts are getting taxed. And I'll tell you that there are 3 main eroders of wealth when it comes to our investments. One of them is going to be volatility. The other one's going to be emotion. And the last one's going to be taxes. And so diversifying and understanding the options that we have for our money, we could actually remove some of these eroders of wealth, and we could have a strategic plan that could really accommodate to our needs and to our goals, our financial goals. So when it comes to fixed accounts and fixed investments, we could talk about a savings account, a checking account, a CD, a high yield savings account. And you see those type of accounts at the bottom of the screen. So those accounts are not necessarily going to be accounts that are going to make us a lot of money. In fact, those are going to be accounts that are going to keep our money safe, but they're not making us money. And by default, by not making money, we're losing money because of inflation, the cost of living, right? Then the second option is going to be variable accounts. Those are going to be your 401ks, qualified retirement accounts, traditional IRAs, Roth IRAs, brokerage accounts. So all those accounts that are going to be depending on the stock market. And what we know about the stock market, that is great. It gives us that upside potential. It gives us opportunity to make money, but it also, there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of risk. And part of the statistics, what makes us better investors is that we're a little bit more conservative with our money. We want security. We want guarantees. We don't want to lose our money. And by the way, men don't want to lose their money either. So it's about diversification. It's about understanding our options. And that's where we specialize in the index strategies, where we're going to combine the best of both worlds, where you can see there's a staircase type of growth where we're not necessarily exposed to that volatility and that risk. What we're doing is managing risk. And I'm not necessarily saying you should put all your money in index accounts because that's an account that is safe and secure. It could be a great starter account, but understanding that having fixed accounts, variable accounts, and index accounts in your overall portfolio is going to get you to that finish line stronger and with a lot more options than only having one or two accounts, which is what we find in the field. When we're having these conversations, that's exactly what we find. And so again, I'm not necessarily talking about one is better than the other, or you should do one versus the other. No, it's understanding what you have, it's understanding what you don't have, and bridging that gap. April mentioned it as well. You know, we specialize in tailoring the plan for each individual. And so I'm gonna break down index products a little bit more, and in particular, one that is very popular when we're having these conversations with our clients. And the reason why is because not only we're protecting our families with this type of strategy, but we're also using it as a wealth building tool. Again, we could be here 2 hours talking about more strategies and more details and all of that. But I think that what we want to bring is not only awareness, empowerment, and action steps, right? So what are some of those index accounts that we could use? Well, one of the main strategies that I want to touch on and emphasize today is this life insurance retirement strategy. The technical term for this type of account is an index universal life, or IULs. And so a lot of times people know life insurance and they're only thinking, oh, that's an account that if I pass away, it's gonna be for my beneficiaries or my family. But the insurance industry has shifted and has changed based on the demands of the marketplace. And what does that mean? Well, not only using that account for protection so that we could cover our families if we're not there to cover them ourselves or protect them or provide for them, but also using this type of strategies while we're alive. And so one of the things that we do with this type of strategies that we could take care of, and specifically in women's needs, is going to be not only the fact that we need to protect our families, our kids, and maybe, you know, in my case, for instance, my mom depends on my income. If I pass away, my mom is the first person more than my spouse, because I know he could make money on his own, but my mom depends on my income. So it's important to me to have that protection in place because I want to make sure that my family is taken care of if I pass away too soon. But also the idea of having my own protection if I live a long life, if I have that longevity, and if I don't have my partner to have that longevity with me, just because based on statistics, it's most likely that I'm going to live a little bit longer. So having not only the death benefit, but also what we call long-term care or living benefits. I've had so many different conversations lately about that long-term care. I was speaking with a gentleman today that he's actually taking care of his mom. And his mom not only has dementia, but has some other issues and or other medical conditions. And I could hear, you know, him being so passionate about the advocacy for, you know, helping people in that same situation. And I've experienced it in my own family as well, where we have someone that we had, my grandpa, that was bedridden, and fortunately the funds were there to help support that, but not everyone does. And so having the funds to be able to take care of our families or even ourselves while we're alive is important. And so let's assume that this type of account, we set it up and we are designing it for you. Well, think of the concept, not the numbers. The numbers are going to be depending on each individual. But let's say the monthly premium for this type of account is going to be $75 for the cost of insurance. definitely we're going to have this death benefit option, and also the long-term care option if that's something. It's optional, but I always recommend it just because of the demand in the marketplace. But that's going to take care of that cost. Now, the extra that the insurance company is going to allow us to put is going to be that extra that is going to go into that savings component or that the investment component. So we already said 75 is going to go towards the cost of insurance. The 425 is going to go towards the savings. And how is this growing? Well, we show you the staircase type of account. This is how it's going to work and how our savings work within this type of strategy. So let's assume that we're following one of the indices, in this case, the S&P 500. And when I say following, we're not necessarily in the stock market, but we're mirroring the stock market. And that's why we have the protection, the guarantees of not losing our money. That's why this type of product is so attractive as well, because we have those guarantees in place. And so we have the floor, meaning that if the market goes down, we're not necessarily going to lose money. To me, when I first got started, that was so important. Again, because I've seen all the hardworking women in my family work their butt off and providing for our families. And I didn't want to put someone in a situation where they're going to be exposed to that volatility, even though I understand that the market could give us that upside potential. But also, let's talk about the trade-off. The trade-off is going to be that upside potential, that we don't have unlimited upside potential, but we do have that 13%, or in some cases 12 or 15. It depends on the companies that we're using. But let's say in this case it's 13%. So the question is, where are you getting up to a 13% return? Or would you take that 13% return on an account that you're not losing any money? And so I would argue that the answer is yes every single time, and use it or take advantage of it, right? So let's actually play it out. Let's assume that you have a 10% return on the stock market. Well, if you have a stock market account, great. You're also capitalizing on that. But in this case, well, we're between the floor, the cap, we're going to be able to get that 10% as well. It's not about the good years. Anybody that has been investing, and it's a good market, they've been making money. But it's about the downside market. It's about the bad years and how much money of your money is protected. So if the market goes down, in this case, we have a protection, we have the floor, and we're not losing what we already gained, that 10%. We're not losing anything on the second year's contribution. Following year, the market does 15%. Well, in this case, we don't make that 15%, but we don't have to recover from the losses. We just pick up where we left off and we make that 13%, which is the maximum. And so on and so forth. The idea is that we're not necessarily going up and down with the roller coaster of the stock market, but we are going gradually up in that staircase, and we don't have to worry about losing, and we have the guarantees in place. And so why are we doing this type of account? Because whatever amount we accumulate, not only, I've already discussed the protection, not only taking care of your family if you're not there to take care of them, but also taking care of yourself. If you need a nursing care facility, or you need to have someone take care of you if there's any medical conditions, but also the potential on the savings, and that it becomes, when you take it out, it's 100% tax free. Any proceeds that come from a life insurance policy cannot be taxed. There's actually an Internal Revenue Code that protects this type of strategies from being taxable. So it's pretty amazing and remarkable what we could do with this type of strategies. And we are talking about it as a retirement solution, but we're able to actually set it up for a Head Start plan for kids, or for a business owner. We're able to also set this accounts through their business, so that they could actually not only potentially expand their business, but also protect their business if something happens to them. So there's so many ways that we could actually structure this plan to address different needs that our clients have, specifically in this case, us women. And so let's actually now transition a little bit into our career opportunities. And the reason why I want to talk about this and end with this is because definitely there's so much opportunity in the industry. We have so many amazing women, but also we are in expansion. We're in expansion nationwide. 5 years ago, before the pandemic, we were expanding exclusively in Southern California, but we have the help of technology and the fact that we're able to connect throughout the country, and specifically even right now, that's what we're doing, and that we're able to actually connect with a lot more people, but also we have an amazing platform where we could actually thrive, and I'm a product of the training process in itself. And so how does it work? And maybe it's not for you, but maybe you know somebody that is looking to transition, that is looking for the actual mentorship and the leadership, or they want to grow, not only expand their career options, but also they want to expand their income. A lot of times when people partner up with us, they start on a part-time basis, and that's what I did. And so there's 4 different components on our training program. And again, we're looking for people who are looking for us. And we do have a lot of ladies, not only that are winning, but also that they're there for their families. They're there to support their partners while they're also winning in business, and they're successful, they're productive, and they're making money. And so the first component in the process is going to be the online licensing. We do have to be credentialed in the industry to provide this type of services. So again, if someone's looking to maybe transition careers, or maybe have a twin career, like how I got started and eventually transition full-time, because I planted my flag and I knew that this is where I wanted to be. Not only because we get that fulfillment, but we have the environment where we could thrive. We could actually have that camaraderie where we could support each other. And we see that in our environment, and when people are winning. The virtual workshops, we have multiple classes during the week that support not only the licensing learning, but also we touch on case studies, we touch on leadership development, we touch on marketing, agency development. So there's so many different areas in our business that we touch on those virtual workshops. We also have the online field training, and that's essentially the hands-on experience. And I think we could all agree that maybe in our past, we've had a job where we had to shadow somebody to learn the ropes. And that is not any different here. We want to make sure that after someone gets their license, that they know exactly what to do, and that they're going to be able to be competent helping their clients. And last but not least, what's made all the difference in my career, and that I attribute my success to the mentorship, the hands-on mentorship. Even 12 years later in the industry, I could still tell you that I still meet with my mentors. They still stretch me. They still help me get to that next level. And we continue not only to succeed together, but also to stretch each other, to make sure that we are getting better and that we're providing value to our clients and our partners as well. And so again, if you know someone interested in the industry, reach out to the person that invited you. We're going to actually give you a link so that you could actually share this link with this person so that they could connect with us. But with that, I also want to share just a little bit beyond not only the environment, but the additional incentives that we have in our company, and is the world-class traveling. I've been able to travel with the company, and it's been amazing experiences. I know that we could travel on our own dime, but traveling with the company is at another level. Traveling with like-minded individuals, people that want bigger, that want better, that want to provide for their families, that want to make an impact. It's pretty amazing. And I never understood this when my mom used to tell me who you are, tell me who you hang out with, and I'll tell you who you are. And I'm like, no, that's not me. I'm different. I'm not going to listen to my friends until you become an adult and you realize that your associations are powerful, that are going to actually help you or break you, that are going to help you get to that next level in your life or not, right? And so what kind of conversations are you having? And again, traveling. This was one of my favorite trips that I've experienced. Not only the Caribbean, but Amalfi Coast, New York. That was one of our last ones as well. Christmas in New York was fantastic. And so it's those experiences, those moments that you're able to create. Not only moments, but also I think that what's best is the most important in our platform and why we attract so many powerful ladies is because we have that work-life balance. I think that a lot of times, and sometimes that could be unbalanced too. You know, it really depends on our goals and what we want in our lives. But having the time available to be able to spend it with family and those moments, to create those moments with family, that I think that I cherish those moments in my heart, and they're so important to me. And so, but also having the camaraderie, having the tribe, having the individuals that are behind you, that you're able to, again, not only be challenged and grow with, but also compete and get to that next level and see somebody else grow and get inspired by that environment is pretty powerful. And I've been able to experience that in the last years that I've been here. So thank you so much for attending. We definitely appreciate your attendance today. We appreciate all the comments, all the good energy on the chat as well. But start with action. Again, you know, when we say knowledge is power, I truly believe where power really lies is on the action steps. What are you doing with that knowledge that is going to make a difference? So let us help you. Whether it is to get a complimentary review, maybe explore your career options, definitely reach out to the person that invited you and let's connect. Let's make sure that we're answering any additional questions that you have. I will, if you're not scanning the QR, maybe you're on the go, maybe you don't have your phone around you, or you are on your phone and you're not able to scan it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put the link on the chat. You will be getting an email as well, so that you could actually schedule a meeting. Again, it's complimentary. Make sure that you reach out to the person that invited you. And we want to get to know you. We want to get to know your needs. We want to tailor those plans for you and your family so that you could reach your financial goals, your financial needs. And so here's the link, but also stay tuned.